listening to Tassie Encounters Moments on Faith FM, and we're coming to you from Tasmania, right across Australia. Each weekday at 9 a.m, you can hear what the Bible says about past, current and future events. You can learn how to study the Bible more effectively. You can get to know who God is, why we're here and where we're going. And you can experience personal encounters with Jesus. I'm your host, Jason Cook. And today, Wendy Hergenhan joins us back in the studio for our discussion this week, learning to know the love of God. Welcome, Wendy.
Thank you, Jason.
It's good to have you back again, and I'm really enjoying getting to know you more as we go through this week, because I'd never met you before we started our first program today. So I really do enjoy getting to know people.
That's good. It tells.
So, yeah, it's been great to learn about your life story and some of the lessons, I guess, that we can learn from that. But in particular, what you've learned about your connection with God in relation to your connection with family and with friends and others. Now, we've been through the infancy stage, that's that very young years, and yesterday we looked at the growing up stage. So we've been through school and high school, and the next stage of your life is where you meet somebody special, I guess.
Yes. I mentioned yesterday that I was sent off to Bega. I think I've mentioned that.
As a school teacher?
Yes, as a teacher, and I've just never left.
Right. So someone in Bega must have grabbed your attention. Or maybe you grabbed his attention. I don't know how.
It's ended up being quite mutual.
Right, okay.
Yes, Rex and I are still in Bega.
Yeah.
He's a local Bega product. And
now, if I understand correctly, he's had a farm?
Correct.
Cattle farming?
Yeah.
Dairy farming?
Dairied for 36 years and did the sums when deregulation hit our fair land and decided he wasn't going to go backwards.
Right.
So now we run beef.
Okay, right.
On the same farm.
And I know Rick has experience in helping out on the farm. That's sort of a bit of a love of his as well, I think. Yes,
whenever he comes home, he likes to get dirt under his fingernails and spend time outdoors. Yep.
Yeah. Wow, that's very good. So tell us a little bit about leading into your marriage and some things that you've learned from your wedding and marriage.
So Rex keeps telling me, you're spoiled.
Okay.
And I believe I am.
Okay.
I've had a charmed life, and no apologies about that, but it saddens me that not everyone experiences that. And there's been sadness along the way, but nothing that has been all pervasive in my life. Our wedding, at the time of our wedding, we thought we loved each other, and we did, but that was the infancy of that kind of love too. So it's developed and grown through the years. But
So tell me a little bit about that. So obviously before you get married, you're in love, you've made a decision to marry this person, and I guess at some point you realise that they're not perfect.
Funny about that.
And so there's another aspect of love that comes into this. This is not just all warm, fuzzy feelings anymore. There's a new aspect of love.
Yeah, well, you have to take on the challenges and face them. We intended it to be a lifelong commitment. We planned for it that way. And so we actually didn't just slip into marriage. I was asked just a few weeks ago, what would you consider to be the success of your marriage all these years? I was stumped. There wasn't a one-word answer or a one-sentence answer, but I slept on it a bit and volunteered a response. We were intentional with learning and growing and developing within the context of our marriage and the love within marriage. And so we read books together separately. We went to church each week together. We've been involved and participated. I believe that has actually strengthened us because we've going to church means you're learning more about God. You're trying to discover more, especially if you're going to be sharing. And so that grew us as individuals, but also together. And we commend each other and encourage each other along the way.
It's a bit like a shared experience, isn't it? When you travel together, you have shared experiences that, you know, go into your psyche, and it gives you things to talk about and connect with. I find church is like that as well, you know, because you're growing together, you're learning together, you're listening together, you're singing together, and not only with your spouse, but of course with a wider group of people as well. So in terms of, you said earlier that you were very intentional. What are some of the intentional things that you've done in your marriage to keep it growing?
Every day, I don't have to ask for it, but every day of our marriage, my husband has told me that he loves me. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't lose its value. It's there. We went to a seminar together once, and the leader of the seminar, and it was a marriage seminar, relationship seminar, said you should read 1 Corinthians 13 every day to grasp what love is. Now, my husband's very methodical, and he set about every day reading 1 Corinthians chapter 13. That was something very intentional that he did. And we still go back to it together or separately, but not necessarily daily. And I believe that that's been really good.
It's an interesting passage, and that passage is often quoted at marriage ceremonies. I'm just thinking of some of the things. My memory isn't always good, but it says things like, you know, love is kind, love is gentle, love is not proud, you know, love is self-sacrificing, love is patient, all of those sort of things. And I think it's a really good thing to do is to put your own name in the place of love and see how that feels. You know, Jason is patient, Jason is kind, you know, Jason is, and you think,
swap your name with the word is Wendy kind, is Wendy.
Yeah, and you think, okay, there's a few things there that needs to be thought about.
And in having said that, some people have suggested that because in one of the letters that the Apostle John wrote, he said God is love, that we swap the word love. God is patient. God is kind.
Now, I actually preached a sermon recently, and I did exactly that. And I thought, I wonder if this is okay to do that.
I think so.
I actually put the word Jesus in there. You know, Jesus is kind, Jesus is patient, and because I was trying to explore the idea of understanding the true character of God. Yeah. And if God is love, and love is patient, and love is kind, then and Jesus is God, so then you can put that in there, and it generally works pretty well, and it really helps us, I think, to understand the true character of God.
Yeah.
The true character of Jesus, and of course Jesus asks us to follow him and to be like him, and so it gives us something to really think about, doesn't it? Now, in your life, I'm gathering, you know, you haven't spent every moment together with your husband. There's been times of being apart when perhaps he's travelled or whatever. Tell us some lessons that you've learned from those experiences.
I guess because we've been grounded firmly. When Rex has gone on a fly and build, and he's done quite a few of them in the Pacific Islands, various places, I haven't doubted that I'm loved because the groundwork has been done. If he's away and phones, I don't, you know, in the old days we couldn't tell who you were answering on the other end of the phone.
It didn't have the caller ID.
No, it was something that hung on the wall and you had to go to it when it rang. Yeah. And he only had to say a portion of a word and I would recognise his voice.
Yes.
For me, that's part of recognising or learning to recognise God's voice Is it him who's whispering in my ear, in my conscience, telling me to smarten up, to go talk to that person, write a letter, whatever? Or is it not him? So recognising Rex's voice has been... And he once said to a young woman, when Wendy and I are driving down the street, if our vehicles pass, I still get a heart flutter. And keeping it alive, keeping the connection firm has been there. But you asked when he's away. Yes, his voice is recognisable. And we pick up straight away. We don't have to relearn to know each other. We know each other.
And there's that confidence, isn't there, in having the strong relationship that you're not worried that, something untoward is happening.
No.
And you have that confidence of trust and that commitment that you made obviously long ago when you got married. And
part of that commitment included not even considering divorce being an option.
So there's sort of no exit plan.
No exit plan on our arrangement. I need to acknowledge that for some people there comes some really drastic place in their relationship where that has to be part of the consideration. Yes. I heard
but we know it's not God's plan for that.
No, his plan is for us to actually have the joy that he intended marriage to be.
Yeah, and of course, if both parties in a relationship were loving like God, then it would be a lot easier to stay together, but that's not always the case.
Sadly, we're humans.
Absolutely. Awesome. Now, you've got a Bible verse that you've picked out here that I think explains really well the concept of your marriage and of how you connect that with your relationship with God as well.
Yeah. So as it's developed and strengthened, Ephesians 3:18 in the New Living Translation is the one that I like.
It says, "And may you have the power to understand, as all God's people should, how wide, how long, how high, and how deep his love is." And I think when we grasp that a little bit, when we understand how much he has loved us and does love us, I think that enables us to love others with a full heart, and a full supply of love.
That's for sure.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you, and we're going to have you back again tomorrow where we look at some parenting in your life. So let's come back and have a look at that. But right now we've got our book offer coming up, so stay tuned.
This program is made possible by the support of Adventist World Radio.
God's Love for You is our book today. This is a beautiful little book, and we encourage you to get it. It's excerpts from Ellen White's writings from Steps to Christ, Christ's Objects, Lessons, and the Desire of Ages. And it really reminds us that God's love is so evident when we really look for it around us, and how he pursues us as a shepherd does a lost sheep, and he forgives us as a parent does a prodigal child. That's our book offer. Text us in TEM 48 for that book offer today, and text that into 0488 880 891. That's TEM 48 0488 880 891. May you encounter Jesus more today as we go out with Chelsea Moon and this beautiful song, How Deep the Father's Love for Us. This is your choice, Wendy. So
yes.
We'll join you again tomorrow.
How deep the Father's love for us, how vast beyond all measure, that he would give his only Son to make a wretch his treasure. How great the pain of searing loss, the Father turns his face away, as wounds which mar the chosen one bring many sons to glory. Behold the man upon a upon his shoulders. Ashamed, I hear my mocking voice call out among the scoffers. It was my sin that held him there until it was accomplished. His dying breath has brought me life. I know that it is finished. I will not boast in anything. No gifts, no power, no wisdom. But I will boast in Jesus Christ, his death and resurrection. Why should I gain from his reward? I cannot give an answer, but this I know with all my heart: his wounds have paid my ransom. Why should I gain from his reward? I cannot give an answer, but this I know with all my heart: his wounds have paid my ransom. His wounds have paid my ransom. His wounds have paid my ransom. His wounds have paid my ransom.
This program has been made possible by the support of Adventist World Radio.